Hello my queens, it's Dana Persia. Welcome back to my channel. This is where you get the real deal on real beauty. Today is Wedding Wednesday and I'm wearing my wedding hat. Some days we talk about makeup, some days we talk about hair, and on Wednesdays, twice a month, we talk about all things wedding. I figured let's just start at the beginning. Why not? It's a good place to start. One of the things on your list is going to be to pick an on-site hair and makeup company. And that's what my company does. Beautiful Brides Philly is a premier on-site hair and makeup company in the Philadelphia tri-state area. So we cover Philly, we cover New Jersey, only South Jersey, not North Jersey, and we cover Delaware. So I've been doing this for a really long time, about 10 years. I've been serving brides and their bridal parties. I have anywhere from 15 to 20 hairstylists and makeup artists at once. I know bridal and I know bridal beauty. So I thought today we would talk a little bit about what you should look for when you are choosing a hair and makeup company if you are deciding to do that. Some people choose to do their own hair and makeup if they're having something simple. But even our micro weddings now with quarantine, I'm seeing a lot of brides still hiring us for hair and makeup because they still have a photographer taking their pictures and they still have a gown and they still have bridesmaids. So they are hiring us for hair and makeup. So I wanted to give you the top 5 things you look for when you choose an on-site hair and makeup company. Most of all, do your research. Depending on where you are, as far as what market you're in, you could be in Nashville, you could be in Florida, you can be in Alaska. Every market for on-location hair and makeup is different. There are many different companies and single artists who do what we do. So you want to go online, and one of the first things you want to search for if you want hair and makeup to come to your location. So whether it's a hotel or your house, or even some venues allow you to do hair and makeup, go online and do your research. I know you're already doing it. So you want to search for things like on location bridal hair and makeup, and then your city, or hair and makeup artist on location and your city. Put the place that you're getting ready. Let's start there. We have a lot of out-of-town brides. We have clients from all over the country and quite frankly all over the world. Basically, brides from almost every state come to Beautiful Brides Philly because they are getting married in one of the areas that we service. Just make sure that you think about, where am I getting ready the day of my wedding? Because most on-site companies do have a travel limit and we have travel minimums. So if you're getting ready at a hotel downtown in your city, you want to make sure that that company or that stylist can come to you on the day of your wedding. You want to make sure that you don't just shop price. And I say this because of a variety of reasons. The first reason is cheaper isn't always better. When it comes to your hair and makeup, you want to look the absolute most beautiful you can on your wedding day. We've worked with hundreds, thousands of brides, and I can tell you that I've had brides come to me and after they maybe had a trial run with another company who maybe charges half what we do, and they were not happy. The artists weren't as professional, didn't practice good sanitation practices when it comes to makeup and hair. It's very important. So you want to make sure that you don't just shop price. You want to shop what your budget is, obviously, but don't choose a company just based on price. Do your research, read their testimonials, take a look at their portfolio, make sure that their website is professional, make sure that they have testimonials, and make sure the testimonials go back a couple of years. Most companies will either have, I actually advertise on Wedding Wire and The Knot, so those are good sites that you can use. The companies are verified and you can read reviews via their site. So I'll make sure I put those links up so you can see some of those websites. Once you narrow it down to, I don't know, maybe you have 2 or 3 companies that you like. And I keep saying companies, and I want to stress this. My company is large, right? So I'm the owner. I am still a working makeup artist with the company. But I have, right now we have about 15 artists, and they vary from hair and makeup, some who do both hair and makeup, some who do just hair, and some who do just makeup. There's a difference between hiring a company and hiring one person. If you hire one person who says she can do 15 services on the day of your wedding, that's a red flag. That tells me she wants to make all the profit herself. She doesn't want to share the services or split the services with anyone else. And you get less customer service and you get less guarantee that you're going to get good work when you go with maybe just a one-off person who doesn't have a company and isn't insured and all of that. The number 2 thing you want to look for is a quick response to your emails and your phone calls. I can't tell you how many times I have spoken to potential clients and they said, you know, the reason I went with you and the reason I'm here today getting my trial run is because you're the only person who called me back, or you're the only company who emailed me back. That always surprises me because I'm always like, what are people in business for? If they're not going to respond to you, call you back, email you back, don't they want your business? So if a company or a stylist doesn't get back to you within 48 hours, that would be a red flag. That's all I'm saying. It's a red flag if they don't get back to you. Nobody is that busy, especially now, because we are not working as much as we would be if there wasn't a pandemic and all these shutdowns. So I have nothing but time. That's why I started my YouTube channel. And, you know, although we have sporadic weddings here and there, it's nothing like it usually is. So make sure that you get a good response time and that you're not ignored. We come to number 3, and that is book your trial run. Make sure you have a trial run. And one of the things you want to look for is, does this company have a private, what I call a studio, or a place where you can have your hair and makeup done? Now, there are some companies who say, oh, we'll come to you for your trial run. We'll travel to you. A, you're going to pay more, whether in the service price or a travel fee. And B, it tells you that they're not really a large enough company or legitimate company that can handle your bridal party, especially if you have a large bridal party. If it's just you and you want your hair and makeup done, then fine. We do not travel to do trial runs. We have a studio in South Philadelphia on East Passyunk Avenue. Here's a couple of photos of our adorable studio. It is decorated in retro movie stars, old Hollywood icons like Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. It's very small, and all we do is style. And you want to make sure that you get a trial run, because you want to make sure that you love your hair and makeup. You gel with that person, you get along, because sometimes it's just personalities, and you want to make sure that you get along with the person or persons doing hair and makeup. It's your wedding day. You don't want to have somebody who's grumpy, also who isn't presentable. I'm telling you, your stylist will be in your pictures unless you absolutely don't want it, because while you're getting ready, your stylist is going to be, you know, doing your makeup and everything, and your photographer will come up and take some action shots. That happens on a wedding day. So you want to make sure they have, you know, they're presentable. Most artists wear all black. And the one thing I cannot stress enough is you want to make sure that the same artists who do your hair and makeup trial are the ones who are going to be present on the wedding day. I take pictures of all I'm at every trial. Pretty much 90% of trials, I am there. Even if I'm not doing the makeup service, I am present so that I can meet my client. We take before and after photos. For makeup, we make sure we write down all notes, because with makeup, it's more, you know, you can look at a picture, but sometimes you can't tell, well, what mascara did I use on that person? What lashes did I use on that client? So I make sure that my makeup artist and myself, we write everything down. As far as hair, we take pictures. That's just part of our process. Also, that you communicate to them and they understand what you want. Clients come to our trials, I ask them to bring pictures of their gown, pictures of their hair ideas, their makeup inspiration, and then we actually sit down and we discuss if the look is going to work. Some brides come in and they know what they want. But some come in, more than others come in, and they just don't have any idea if this hairstyle is going to work, if this hairpiece is going to work. Should I wear a hairpiece? You know, where's the veil going to sit? We have test veils. We have test hair accessories in the studio. So I'm spending a lot of time on trial because it's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing about booking hair and makeup. You have to have a trial. You have to know how you're going to look. If you comment below, I will send you a link to our trial prep sheet so you can see how to prepare for a trial. Even put your email in the comments and I will email you personally the trial prep sheet that we send out to all of our clients. Now we're moving on to number 4, which again, I don't know what's more important, this or the trial run part. All 5 of these are important. Number 4 is make sure you have a contract in place. I have a pretty extensive contract, especially since COVID. And I even have a COVID postponement letter. I mean, I used to be in corporate. I was in corporate business for 20 plus years. So I run my business. It's pretty zipped up. And I make sure that I have all the documentation so that you, the bride, understands what's expected of you as the client, and that you know what I have committed to. So if you don't have a contract, you don't have anything to protect you in case, God forbid, something happens. So make sure you have a contract. Make sure there's some stipulation for if your stylist is not available. In my contract, I say, we cannot guarantee, because of sickness and other things out of my control, that your stylist will be there on your wedding day. No one can say that. There's no way that I could promise that. However, I do say that as a company, we have the right to replace your hair stylist, your makeup artist, with one of our artists. That's why a contract's important. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls from brides crying on the phone, and they'll say, oh my God, I'm getting married on Saturday. Do you have any availability? Can you come and do hair and makeup for 7 girls? And I'm like, so I start to ask them questions and I'll say, oh, okay, I might be able to help you, but let me ask you a couple of questions. And I'll say, did you have a company or a person? Well, yeah, my cousin's friend's daughter was going to do everyone's hair and makeup, but she can't do it, and now I'm stuck. That's one I hear a lot. If you can heed any of my advice in this video, do not hire a family member or a friend for hair and makeup. There are many reasons for this. A, you don't want to work with family and friends. It can be very weird and sticky. Even if they say it's a gift, and even if they say we're going to give it to you for free and I want to do this for you, what if you don't like it? What if something happens? What if you become enemies? I mean, your hair and makeup is so important because it's how you're going to look. It's how all your girls are going to look. It's how all your mother's going to look. Have a contract in place. Make sure everything is in writing and that the stylist or the owner signs it and agrees to everything, and you sign it, you have a copy and she has a copy, so that you both understand each other, and you want to manage expectations, right? So you want to make sure you know exactly what is going to happen. This is your wedding day. It is one of the most, if not the most important days of your life, and you don't want any screw-ups. So make sure you have it in writing. And along with that, as sort of a subtext, make sure you pay a significant deposit. And you'll say, why are you telling me to pay a significant deposit? Because that artist, let's say it's, I don't know, a hairstylist and her friend who started a company. And they say, yes, we're going to do your hair and makeup. We don't need a contract. Just give me $100. Your contract's $1,000. You can pay me on the day of. You know what's going to happen? They're either going to go on vacation and have an opportunity to go away somewhere, and they're not going to want to do your wedding, or they'll get sick and you have nothing in writing, or even worse, they'll take a wedding that they're making more money on maybe yours was small and they got a bigger one. So they're going to screw you over. I hate to say it, but I've seen it happen. And I'm not saying it's going to, but just make sure that you want to have a contract. You want to have stipulations in the contract. If you don't agree with something in the contract, talk to the owner, talk to the stylist, see if you can work it out. One of the things that's in my contract is we're allowed to use all photographs. So if I take a photograph of you at the trial, if I take some photos of you on the morning of your wedding, I'm allowed to use those photos. And I can get photos from your photographer, and I'm allowed to use those photos in all my marketing, on my website. However, some people do not want you to use their photos, and they'll tell me. And that's about the only thing that I will ever really cross out if somebody doesn't want me to use their photos. The fifth and final thing, it seems like something that's really not that important, but you want to ask for a timeline. You want to have a wedding day timeline. You want to know, what time are you arriving at my hotel? What time are you starting my hair? What time are you starting my mom's hair? I've seen companies not use timelines, and they just show up and they're like, okay, who's here? I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they get done in time. My clients get a timeline. It is an Excel spreadsheet, and I work this out with you, the bride, and I'll say, okay, what time do you have to get into your dress? What time is the photographer arriving? What time do you have to leave the hotel for the church? Are you having a first look? If you're having a first look, what time is the first look? These are the questions that I ask. Once I have all that information, I put together a timeline that shows you exactly when we're arriving, when we're starting. That's why you have to have a timeline. You want to make sure that your artist, we set the tone for the whole day. We are the first people you see. We sometimes arrive at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're there and we're set up and we're ready to go, taking the first girls at 7:30. And it's like clockwork. And you want to know that we understand your timing for the day. It's very important. A lot of photographers blame hair and makeup because they think that we always run late. And I always have to explain to my clients, Beautiful Brides Philly doesn't run late. If we run late, it's probably going to be because something else happened that day or that morning. And, you know, we're flexible, but having a timeline is so, so important. Hopefully you found those 5 things helpful when you choose your hair and makeup artist. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you can get notifications of when my next video is. Hopefully I will be seeing you soon for Wedding Wednesday. Have a great day, my queens. Good luck with all your wedding plans. Bye.